New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? This is Jayless from Knick of Time Show here, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And today we're going to talk about that Sacramento win against our New York Knicks. Sacramento beats the Knicks 103-94. But I brought a guest for me to talk about it. So today we have the man from the POD Strickland, carrying the show all by himself. He's dragging Drew. He's just and Fred just on his shoulders, both of them. Just so the show could be successful, we have to with us today, Shiwnny Poo. Shiwnny, my man, I'm so glad of all the work you do, and I'm so glad that you're
just yelling.
Yeah,
just a lot of yelling. A lot of anger.
Yeah. But it works, man. It just works.
It's my thing, you know. It's a good outlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, adjust the screen as you can, kind of sinking. But
No
there you go. But yeah, man, your anger, your cursing, your bouts with Alan Hahn is why people tune into the show, man.
I whatever works, man. If people want to listen to me rant, I more power to them.
That's for sure. For sure. I think I could have sworn I saw somebody on Twitter said, have Schwinn on Knicks Fan TV just so he can have a ranting session or something.
Hey, man, last night I needed it. Last night was like, thank God that was a late night game, man, because I would have been up for like 3 hours after that, just like, screaming my ass off or something. That was such a brutal game to watch. But it's like, you know, I mean, some of it, like I think I tweeted out yesterday that it felt like a coaching loss or was a coaching loss.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like in the sense that we only lost because of Tibbs, but that was one of those games where you're like, it's like, well, I mean, I remember what we called the timeout. So the lead gets to 2, then they push it back out to like 7 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the offense isn't going anywhere. And then he calls a timeout and he puts the same lineup back in. And it's like,
yeah.
Look, man, like I'm not even hating. I'm so over hating on Elfrid Payton at this point because it's like there's no point. But like that was just such an obvious situation where it was like, all right, you got to get some shooting on the floor here because like if Elfrid isn't scoring well on a given night,
right,
then he has no value because he can't create. He's not creating space for RJ or Randall or Mitch. And he wasn't scoring well last night, so there was no value. Like, I know that Quickly didn't have the best game yesterday.
Right.
I know Burks didn't have the best game yesterday. And I know Burks closed anyway, but like, I just think Quickly needed to be on the floor because you just needed somebody who could maybe hit a shot, who could maybe spread the
Who's
floor.
A threat to hit a shot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like that's what I mean when I say it's a coaching loss. Like, no, the Knicks didn't just lose because of Tom Thibodeau.
Right.
But it was like that decision is off to me. And then like also just like I just the one thing that I right now not that I'm mad about it, but that it annoys me a lot is just like we need to stagger the rotations a little bit more because I want to see Quickly with the starters a bit more. I want to see Knox with like Randall and Mitch and RJ a bit more too. And like right now it feels like it's 2 separate units. And I mean, those are just like my major takeaways.
No, and you're right. And I'm gonna hit both of those points too, right? As far as the Quickly thing, we both. I told you, I hit Swin on Twitter, and I was like, "Listen, Swin, we got to get on the show, and we have to trauma bond over our hate for Elfrid Payton, right? Because he's driving us crazy." And since then, he's had 2 really good games versus the Orlando Magic. and he's locked down Steph Curry for 30 points. I'm not even trying to be sarcastic because he actually did a pretty good job, even though it sounds sarcastic, right? But
no, I mean, Steph had like a little burst in the first half,
right?
So like, he scored 30, but it was really just that burst, and then after that, he didn't do much. So like I'll crap on Elf plenty, but yeah, I mean, no, I'm not gonna. He was fine against. He was actually good. I would say against Golden State, and like that Magic game was just weird. So he played pretty well, I guess. But even then, it's just like, when you're scoring 91 points or whatever, and yesterday we scored 94 against the worst defense, I think in like years in the NBA. You've got to look at like why, and I mean. I'll try and pull it up real quick, but I saw a thread from, let's see, Mike Plug on Twitter. And he just pointed out, he's like, look, like right now you're getting good production from RJ and Randall basically every night. Mm-hmm. And Mitch is chipping in pretty well. And like, it's your backcourt, your backcourt is giving you nothing.
Right.
And like, I know Frank's been out for the year, and so you've got even less options than you would. DSJ is just done.
Yeah,
he's cooked.
We're
not even. Yeah, Tibbs feels the same way we have. He's just like, he was like, all right, man.
It's one thing we agree on. Just keep him on the bench no matter what, no matter how bad we're playing.
Like, last night, right? So Peyton and Bullock. So this is from @MikePlug on Twitter. He posted the numbers, 52 minutes between Peyton and Bullock. These are just combined stats. 7 points. That's all Peyton.
Yeah.
6 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 steals, 1 block, 3 of 15 shooting, 0 of 3 from the 3-point line, and just 1 of 1 at the free throw line. So just 1 free throw attempt. Meanwhile, you got, then you look at like Randall and Barrett. They play 72 minutes, 47 points, 22 rebounds, 7 assists, 16 to 34 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. That's RJ went 2 of 2 from 3, and 13 of 14 from the free throw line. So it's like the Knicks, and I mean, who are we kidding? I think fans have been saying this forever, but like the Knicks have arguably the worst guard play in the entire league right now, and like I still don't think people realize like what does getting Victor Oladipo. Okay, right now he's not playing at like a star level or anything, but he's playing like fine. He's playing pretty solid.
Okay, he's okay for me. Just coming back and getting to the groove. He's look like it can come back. It could possibly come back soon for him, possibly.
Yeah, and it's just like if you just get that version of Oladipo right now and put him on this team, like it changes so much. And I think that's the thing. Where is Quickly going to have that impact? No, he's not. He's a rookie. He's still trying to figure out kind of like how to balance his natural scoring instincts with having to run point. And I think you can see that in the last couple of games. Yeah. He's not, I don't want to say he's a
little tentative, but they're changing the defense on him as well. They're playing up on him a lot more. They're trying to take away that floater at the foul line. So they're changing the defense up on him a little bit as well.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's that I think that they're trying to make a concerted effort to get Obi involved, like get him touches, run the offense kind of through him at times.
Yeah, he's definitely posting more. Yeah,
and I mean, this isn't even an excuse. It's just a reality. Like he didn't play a single minute with Burks in the preseason, I don't think, and I don't think he played with him at all in the regular season. So the last 2 games is the first time he's really playing with him. So like, I think that there's some adjustment that he's going through right now, just kind of balancing those things. Mm-hmm. But like, I just want to put him in the starting, like, I know it's not going to happen, but I want to at least see him with the starters more because like, okay, even if he's not capable of running point yet in like consistently, effectively, whatever, he is at least going to have value just being on the floor with those guys and creating space for them. So like, like, absolutely. It's, and I get, like, I know Tibbs is, it's not an easy situation with the backcourt situation, with the backcourt he has available to him. And I get that. And I get that, like, no matter how he manages the rotation, there's going to be minutes where we're all like, this backcourt sucks or this lineup sucks. Mm-hmm. And I get that. But it's just like, I would like to see a little bit more balance in terms of getting Quickly out there with certain looks. And that's it.
No, especially when he's struggling. And to get back to your point with the staggering minutes, like there was like a point where they staggered it a little bit where I saw Quickly playing with Randall was playing with the second unit and they took out Obi Toppin with at the end of the first quarter into the second quarter. And you saw what happens. They doubled it was like, oh, look at that. They doubled Randall. Randall swings it out. Guess who has the ball? Quickly.
Right.
Quickly does his little head fake and close out. Because to me, he's like probably the best closeout. He handles the closeouts the best out of anybody in the team. Like when people close out on threes, I feel like his little head fake and first step, he's already out of there. So he head fakes, goes out, lobs to Noel, easy dunk. And I'm just like, more of this, please. Like, can we get that? Tom Thibodeau? Like, let's extend those minutes a little bit. And to Tom's point too, when Tom was talking about before, he likes to play Elfrid Payton because of his defense on bigger guards. I feel like IQ heard that because yesterday IQ had 3 blocks.
Yeah, he's on my fantasy team, by the way. So he had 3 blocks. I'm like, okay, like that's added value. I'm good with that. Like, yeah, I mean, and here, like, he didn't even play that well yesterday, but even within that, you're like, okay, like, I mean, I'm let me pull up the box score here, but I think he still had like 5 points or something.
Yeah.
Like, well, okay, so he ends up having 8 points on 9 shots, so not great.
Yeah.
2 assists, 3 blocks. You know, like, it's not great.
No, it's not great.
But it's not like, I mean, I would rather have that than, like, what's better? To me, it's just like, if Elfrid Payton is going 3 of 12, then he's not doing anything for you because all of that value is just like the only way he is good is when he hits shots. And if he doesn't hit shots, he sucks.
He sucks.
And I thought his defense yesterday was pretty bad too on Fox. I know Fox didn't exactly erupt, but like I didn't think it was particularly that good.
Right.
And it didn't seem that engaged on that end. And like, I mean, I think Tibbs mentioned it after the game though too. He said like, you know, our energy just wasn't there. And that's, look,
back-to-back third quarter situations. I feel like the same thing happened in the Orlando game. We came out pretty good energy third quarter off the back-to-back. I think we kind of
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you get because you come out, you're fine in the first half, then you sit for 15 minutes, and then when you come back out, you're like all of a sudden like that. You're like, oh shit, I can feel it now. But yeah, like it was just they just didn't have it, and that's fine. But it's like that's why
27-18 in 18 third quarter by the Sacramento Kings. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's like no, it's like that's why I think that he needed to play the bench more last night because the starters didn't. Other than Randall, Barrett, I don't even want to say starters. All right, let's be real. It was Bullock and Elf. They just didn't have anything last night.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe like, you know, and credit to Tibbs for look, Burks played like ass last night, but I get it. Like,
I give him a pass. He's just got back, you know.
Yeah, so like credit to him. He's like trying that out, pushing it. But like 12 minutes for Knox last night. Why? I don't get that. I didn't think he like. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Knox was killing it out there yesterday, but like, I don't see why he should. You know what it was?
RJ was playing well. So he was trying to extend RJ's minutes. RJ actually played a little bit with the second unit yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
So because he was playing with the second unit, they kind of set Kevin Knox because Kevin Knox's shot wasn't dropping, and they kind of ran with that for a few minutes.
I guess like for me, it's just like I would like to see RJ with Knox a bit more than just like Burks. Again, Burks didn't have it last night, so cut his minutes, put RJ in for him, and let's see what these young guys can get up to together. I guess that's the other thing. And like, look, Noel wasn't. I mean, he did nothing yesterday.
Noel was another reason, man. I feel like, and especially in that third quarter, he's so up and down on the defensive end, man. Like some days I'm just like, what are you doing? And some days he gets you like 4 blocks in a minute, and you're like, oh.
Let's pause for a second. This episode was brought to you by Manscaped. All right. Fellas, Valentine's Day is on the way. You want to make sure down there is clean, fair, and square. Manscaped Trimmer 2.0. It does not nick your knickers. It doesn't grab your hairs. It has an LED light so you can see what's going on down there. It's waterproof and is guaranteed to make your lady happy. All right, so definitely pick up the Trimmer 2.0. And also my personal recommendation, and Ryan backs me up, the ball deodorant.
Exactly. I've been using the ball deodorant since even before this whole sponsorship. I've been using the ball deodorant. It works great. It works well. the ladies, if that moment comes, the ladies go down there and they're satisfied. It smells nice and good, so go get you some.
Go get you some. All right.
Yeah.
Man, go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code KOT. All right. That is 20% off and free shipping with code KOT if you go to manscaped.com. And you know what? If you trim down there, send all before and after pictures to Ryan's Gmail account at Ryan. Okay,
No.
All right, never mind. KOT, that is the code.
You mentioned Elfrid Payton getting cooked by Darren Fox, but I do remember like a few of those times. That's when Mitch was out the game, and Noel was there. He's supposed to be there to kind of help, and there was no help there for the guy, man. So it seems like I don't know what is Noel to me. I think I said this on POD Strickland. Noel will get beat, but the value in Noel to me is one, the blocks, and two, when he gets beat, when he's trying, he comes from behind and pokes the ball away, and he just breaks the whole play up.
Yeah, he does. He does like. He just seems like really. I don't even know how to. It's like when he's there, when he's mentally there,
Yeah.
he's fine. But like half the time, I just feel like he's not even thinking. Like it just seems like he's not, with it. But like I don't know. I was not happy, obviously, that they lost. But it's just like I have a really hard time staying upset with this team currently because it's just like I'm like, look, like
Kind of fun.
I mean, if you told me before the season, if the season just plays out exactly like it's playing out now, if you told me that like the team would be hovering around 500, the bad things are that Elfrid Payton is getting too many minutes and Reggie Bullock is still starting, and Knox and Obi and Quickly are kind of like inconsistently getting minutes. But the good things are that Julius Randle turned into a star. RJ Barrett is developing into a legitimate all-around offensive player, and Mitchell Robinson is doing great at not being in foul trouble and anchoring a defense. Like I would take that season. Like I would take that. So if the Knicks, they're going to be games like last night. They're going to be games like last Friday against Cleveland, or pick any of the losses they've had that are super annoying. But they're also going to be net like on overall. I think right now, if you told Knicks fans this is what the season would be, they would have taken that at the start of the year. So like, of course we have problems, right? Because we're not
there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. But if you like on aggregate, I would say right now what we're about. I mean, we're one game away from being a quarter of the way through the season. I mean, I think it's pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with what I've seen so far from this team. And like, I think they're easy to root for. I think they play hard. I think that they try to play the right way, generally speaking. Even if I crap on Elfrid Payton, I think it's more about his limitations as a player versus him trying to like be a shithead. But like, I are there things I want? Yeah, of course I want moving forward. Like, I mean, even against Portland, I really think that I continue to hope that the young guys on the bench start getting more minutes. I do think that like Obi, look, people really down on him yesterday after the game, which I thought was weird. And then there was all this like, oh, we
Knicks
passed on
fans,
we passed on Halliburton. Oh.
I still, man, I don't, as good as Hallie is playing, I'm still cool with it. Really, because we got Quickly. Because Hallie to me is still a really, he's what I want Frank to be, right? He's what I want Frank to be. But Quickly to me still seems like a guy who can actually lead an offense down the road over Hallie.
I don't think Halliburton is like, people keep saying he could be our point guard. Like, I'm not. I've tweeted this out for. I was dead wrong on him on like how good he's going to be at this level. So
we'll take that L.
No knock on him at all. But like, I don't think he's a primary. Like, I don't think he's a point guard really in the sense of when people are saying, oh, he could be our point guard. Like, can he be a primary initiator? No, I don't think so. And I think that like, Quickly, he's not there yet. He doesn't have the point guard reps that Halliburton got in college. He's adjusting. Like, I think Quickly's going to be fine, and I feel like
he has the tools.
I think people are just writing off Obi a little too fast for whatever. Like, I think that he's adjusting too, and he's trying to figure out, like, okay, how do I? Like, they're running offense through him, so like he kind of has to figure out, okay, where am I going with this touch? Like, who am I passing it to? Where? Like, how do I score in this situation, that situation? It's not easy, and like I just give it time. Like I think that if anything, look, we just have seen Julius Randle all of a sudden put it together at age 26. Like, I'm not saying Obi. That means.
So you're saying 4 games in, you're not ready to throw Obi Toppin away?
I mean, I think I got to look this up. I think he's played all of 84 minutes for the whole season so far.
It's so crazy.
Knicks
fans get on my nerves sometimes. I love y'all though.
Yeah, he's played 84 minutes total right now. He's taken a grand total of 36 shots. He's taken 16 threes. Like, it's just.
He's a bum. Trade him.
Yeah, right. But it's such a tiny sample size, and I would like to see way more before I have serious concerns or doubts about it. And like, I don't know. I'm so sick of like always finding a reason to be miserable. Like, oh, we passed on Halliburton. Oh, we didn't do this. Oh, we did. Like, you can do that basically, unless you draft the best player in your draft. You can always go back and be like, oh, of course we should have done this. Oh, we should have taken
Monday morning quarterback. Everybody misses on.
I wanted Devin Vassell. You don't see me crying every day. Every time he has a good game of like, oh my God, why didn't we take Devin
You
Vassell?
appreciate the people that are here.
Like, he's here. It doesn't matter. It's over with. Like,
it's over.
And you know, I promise you, if you go back and do this, think about go through like the last 5 drafts. Think about who you wanted the Knicks to draft. Think about who you wanted the Knicks to draft.
Yeah, we missed on some and hit on some.
And you don't even need to do this with the like. It's not like the Knicks are the only team that passed on Halliburton. Okay, if you want to, like, I loved Killian Hayes. Detroit apparently loved him. They took him. Are they crying that they didn't take Tyrese Halliburton? Or there are other teams that took guards, like fucking Minnesota. These losers took Anthony Edwards, number 1. He's been awful. Should they regret passing on Tyrese Halliburton? Should Golden State it's just, you can play this game constantly,
forever,
but you have to just like, I mean, just get the fuck over it. It's
man. Half of these guys, man, half of these guys are going to take 4 to 5 years to develop anyway. So you can't just look at a few games in the season and go, that's it. Half of these guys, right? So for most young guys, you have to be patient, even with their deficiencies. And for Obi, right now for Obi, it looks like he's having trouble posting mismatches. So it seems like he might have to face up a little bit more at this level, because I'm not sure. Like, I joked about this too in show. He looked like he skipped leg day a few times, and he can't post these smaller guards and these small forwards when he has mismatches. But I do like the way he passed out the post. That's something to look forward to. I do feel like the jump shot will come along once he's settled in a little bit more. And also, there's been stints of his one-on-one defense on smaller players has been better than advertised, which makes you think, all right, we might be able to cheat in some instances and have Obi, guard smaller players. Like, so that's something to keep an eye on too as well. So there's things to like in this short minutes, but he just needs more time to cook. And as all the crap I give Tom Thibodeau it's not even that much crap, because I praise him a lot. But I do like that he does seem to be letting players try stuff in minute increments. I mentioned RJ. He's getting a chance to make in few minute increments before. Like, I'll start to see him start the plays in the third quarter sometimes. Kind of be a point guard in 8 o'clock situations. You're starting to see Obi post more, like we talked about before.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to. He's definitely trying to get like when the last 2 games when Obi's come in, they're like genuinely just trying to run the offense through him right now.
Yeah,
for those stints. So yeah, I mean, it's an adjustment for everybody, I think, in that sense.
Yeah, and for you trade Randall guys, if you ever want to, you got to figure out what Obi can do in icy situations, because for a guy to be a star, you kind of have to be able to take over in nice situations and get a team a bucket when the team needs a bucket. So you have to see what he has. And so And that's the other thing about some Knicks fans too. I feel like they get discouraged when they see guys try things in a game and they go, never try that again. Sometimes you gotta try shit.
Yeah, you have to try. Like, if guys don't get a chance to try anything, then they don't. I mean, it's either they might lose confidence and they don't develop some skills that like you'd want them to have down the line. Like you know, as an example, you know, take a player like, you know, Frank, who, regardless of what you think about him, but I don't think the Knicks have ever really given him like the chance to just play through mistakes and try whatever. It's always seemed like very much, if he's playing well, then it's fine. But as soon as he struggles, then we take him out of the game and cut his minutes. And like, I don't personally know if that's the best way to do it. And it's, look, like, obviously we just got done talking about how Tibbs needs to do a better job of getting like Kevin Knox and Obi Toppin and quickly and stuff like that, more minutes. But at least when they're on the floor, it doesn't feel like they're
Empty minutes.
And they're not, it doesn't seem like they're being held back or restricted from trying stuff. Now there might be repercussions of like, okay, if you try that and it fails, then you're probably going to get a quicker hook than you would otherwise, but that's fine. Like they, you know, I think if you're trying to win games, essentially, then there has to be, you know, you have to earn those minutes essentially. Right.
Yeah.
So somebody like Kevin Knox, like, it's cool. I'm happy that he's been trying to kind of, put together a little bit more off the dribble, but like, he's got to actually finish those plays off the dribble. And if you don't, then he's, you know, providing not as much value, which means his minutes are going to get cut. And like, you know, we've already seen this so quickly. Like, they literally told Quickly that he needs to look to score more. So I think that they have an idea and a role for each guy, and it's about those guys buying in and playing to that role. And then, you know, once they do that, then I think you can start expanding their games and stuff like that. And, you know, like with RJ Barrett, like, we're definitely seeing development and growth, and same thing with Mitchell Robinson. With Mitch, I don't know if I still don't think it's like a coaching thing where they're like, you're not allowed to shoot. I think it's him. Mitch. I think it's Mitch.
You know what? Based on the things we've just said, I think you're right, because everybody else seems to be trying shit. And Mitch has not shot a shot yet, and teams are literally laying off on him. He's even posting on Instagram. I feel like he's trying to like psych himself up before the game. Like, I'm going to unleash the Kraken, you know?
Yeah. He's always doing that stuff, man.
But then he just goes out there and doesn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, and my thing with that is always like, look, man, it's all great that he wants to, like, you know, post these Instagram videos of him, you know, dribbling off the, like, taking guys off the bounce and shooting pull-up jumpers and stuff. But like, you know, until he actually does it in a game, I won't care. And the fact of the matter is, he's like 45% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, like, is he really all of a sudden going to become a awesome shooter or something? Probably
good
not.
point. It's crazy because I feel like the first season I felt like his free throws in like there was like a month or two where his free throws is around 70% or so.
Yeah, they trended up at the end of the year. But he's actually gone down every year. So he's at 60% from the free throw line his rookie season, then 56.8 last year, and now he's at 46.4. I'm not a shot doctor. I'm not like, I don't even pretend to be. But when I watch him shoot at the free throw line now, I feel like he's not sticking with the follow through. It always feels like it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost it's too casual almost the way he takes it. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too worried about Mitch at all.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I think that, you know, what we're seeing from him now is, like, at the very minimum, this is a guy who can anchor your defense, which is a significant development considering, I mean, look, he's averaging a career low in fouls per game, and he's playing more minutes than he ever has. So that's massive development for him. I've seen him like actually make contact on screens and stuff like that this year.
The fundamentals.
Yeah. So I mean, the one thing I forget shooting, I don't even give a shit about that. If he could just like add a one dribble face up move or something like that, that would be way bigger for me than anything.
Nah, exactly. Just keep people honest. Just keep people honest. If they're gonna lay off on you and play 5-on-4, 5-on-3 because they're gonna have Peyton too. just shoot it. If Peyton can shoot it and he can't shoot, why can't you? Just ask yourself, Mitch, why can't you?
It's
All right.
crazy how willing Peyton is to shoot now too. I'm just like, dude, just enough. Like, no one wants to see that.
You know, Thomas telling him to shoot it.
Yeah,
you hear him.
He definitely is.
When your feet are open, I tell our guys to shoot it. You hear him say it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think it's like, look, that's the mentality guys have to have, though. You know, you gotta.
Exactly, for sure. All right. Well, Knicks are going to play the Portland Trail Blazers next. Damian Lillard and those guys. I think McCollum might be out though.
Yeah, he's out. Nurkic is out.
Yeah, so hopefully we can repeat a Steph Curry like defense on Dame Lillard. Yeah, things to kind of look out for, man. Reggie Bullock kind of got shut down in that last game. They pressured him at the 3-point line a lot, and it seemed like when he was chased off the line, wasn't able to do anything. So hopefully he'll be able to make adjustments and he'll be able to shoot a little bit better. Alec Burks too. I'm hoping he comes back to life and he starts to realize who he was when he was shooting 67% from three. And the fast breaks too, man. The fast breaks is always been a problem. We didn't have any fast break points the last game versus the Golden State game where we did pretty well for ourselves. I feel like RJ Barrett single-handedly said, "I'm doing all the fast breaking myself. We just need somebody to run with him." Quickly, right? And I think we'll be able to be good to go. But yeah, Knicks versus Portland Sunday night, 10 p.m. Look out for that. Anything to add to that, man?
I would just say, I think the Knicks is pretty simple. If the backcourt shows up, they generally tend to compete really well, and I mean they've won games when the backcourt plays well.
Beat the Bucks.
Yeah, so
you get a point guard, we beat the Bucks.
Yeah, and so it's if the Knicks get anything from the backcourt, they're usually a pretty decent bet to win, especially against a team like Portland who is shorthanded. And look, Dame can go off anytime, so if Dame goes off, all bets are off. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I just hope that we can get Frank back in here, or Rivers. I think that I thought last night throughout that game that there were periods where. The Knicks couldn't stop Halliburton. They couldn't stop Corey Joseph, which was probably the most infuriating thing.
Some of those shots he made, I'm just like, what God are you praying to? Those shots are dropping in.
Didn't he bank on some?
Yes.
He hit some crazy bank shot that I was just like, all right, well, I guess one of those.
This is one of those nights.
But I thought there were moments that like the Knicks really could have used somebody that could just, make Tyrese Halliburton's life a lot more difficult than the Knicks guards were. But yeah, I mean, I guess like if we're looking out for anything, I think that this is a really good matchup for Randall. They got nothing at the 4, and their front court as it is pretty thin. And our boy Enes Kanter, I believe, is their starting 5 right now.
Pick and roll him to death.
Right. Yep.
That's our plan. And yes, one more thing. Our spacing was so bad yesterday. They ended up double and triple teaming Julius at the end of the game, especially Halliburton. They was playing that pass to the corner towards the end of the night. They saw that move coming. So we need to kind of readjust because teams are scouting us. They know that pass to the corner is coming. Julius Randle's getting double and triple team. So we're gonna have to adjust tips. Have people kind of cutting off ball because it got a little stagnant. Have people maybe moving around the 3-point line so it's not as predictable. We need to make some adjustment because the scouts are out. They know our shit. All right. Yep, that's our show, man. Thanks for coming, Shiwnny.
Yeah, no problem, man.
For sure.
Glad to be here.
Exactly. Hopefully we get this Knicks win. And as I said before, if we end up losing a couple of these games on a road trip, don't panic. Don't fire Tibbs. We're not trash. Steam players are being developed last week are being developed this week. Have a long-term perspective of this team and not get short-sighted. All right? All right. Cool. So where can they find you, Shiwnny?
You can find me on Twitter at ShiwnnyPoo. You can check out our podcast at POD STRICKLAND. That drops every Monday and every Friday. And sometimes I write some words for The Strickland, which is the website. So you can find that at thestrick.land on the internet, and at the Strickland on Twitter.
For sure. Yeah, they have some really good writers. Really good writers. So definitely check that out. And you know where to find us, man. You know, you watching on youtube.com/Knick of Time Show. You can also find us on soundcloud.com/Knick of Time Show, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all that noise, Spotify. And yeah, check out the blog too at knickoftimeshow.com. Check us out on the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and also on Facebook, and also cop the merch on knickoftimeshow.com. Even the Whose Mans is this merch, get that if you want to, man. If you rock the Knick of Time Show, you know whose Mans is this. That's our guy. That's our slogan. All right, that is our show. We're out of here. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.